In the gloomy atmosphere of the bustling streets of Wall Street, where skyscrapers rose like concrete and glass sentinels, a sinister aura hung over a building whose name would become a macabre legend, the Tower of Destiny. This monolith of power and wealth, whose dark history intertwined with the city's deepest secrets, was known not only for its billion-dollar financial transactions, but also for harboring inexplicable mysteries and indescribable horrors that whispered in the shadows. Emily, a prominent figure on Wall Street, arrogant and pretentious, found herself in the Tower of Destiny on a sunny afternoon to close a million-dollar deal. She was famous for conducting illegal business and scamming the less fortunate, promising fortunes in the short term. After a crucial meeting, she entered the building's golden elevator and felt a sinister chill run down her spine as the doors closed behind her. The elevator began to ascend, but suddenly the lights went out and it stopped short of reaching its destination, plunging Emily into suffocating darkness as if the building's innards were devouring her presence. As she tried to regain her composure, Emily heard a chilling whisper echoing through the elevator walls. A sinister voice, laden with malice, spoke in her mind, as if the building itself were communicating with her. "You have gone too far, sinner. Your lust and greed will be your downfall," the voice whispered, its words enveloped in a cutting coldness. "Now you must pay the price for your audacity." Emily desperately tried to press the elevator buttons, but nothing happened. She was trapped at the mercy of the malevolent entity inhabiting the Tower of Destiny. Gradually, the darkness around her began to turn into a thick mist. Suddenly, horrifying images began to materialize before Emily's eyes. Ghosts of the past, faces distorted by hatred and pain, seemed to float through the darkness, whispering words of condemnation. She found herself confronted with the sins of her life, especially her cruelty and racism towards her maid, Maria. Maria, Emily's maid, was a woman of gentle soul and generous heart. Despite the difficulties she faced at work, she radiated kindness and compassion, always caring for her employer's needs with dedication and dignity. Even in the face of Emily's unfair and racist treatment, Maria remained steadfast in her integrity, never allowing hatred or bitterness to consume her. In the dark depths of the Tower of Destiny, Emily continued to face the horrors of the elevator, the world around her seeming to distort and crumble, as if she were trapped in an endless nightmare. For Emily, each moment in that elevator stretched into eternity, filling her days with unfathomable terror. Sinister shadows danced on the walls, taking grotesque and twisted forms that writhed in agony. Pale and disfigured faces emerged from the shadows, empty eyes fixed on Emily, while unintelligible voices echoed in her ears. Every time she closed her eyes, nightmare images flooded her, showing her glimpses of a world distorted by madness and despair. She could see every soul that was trapped and judged by the tower, each fate worse than the last, like a horrifying sequence from a horror movie. 5 long years dragged on slowly, each second weighing like a ton. Emily endured countless psychological terrors within that elevator, every lust, greed, and disrespect she had throughout her life coming back to haunt her and exact a huge price. In her final breaths, the elevator doors opened, releasing her from her prison. But for Emily, in the real world, only a few seconds had passed since she entered the elevator. What seemed like an eternity of torment was, in fact, a blink of an eye in real life. The shock of the experience left Emily stunned, unable to comprehend how so much time could have passed in just a few moments. The memory of the 5 years of terror in the elevator would haunt her dreams for the rest of her life, a permanent scar on her mind and soul. But Emily knew that her ordeal was far from over. She vowed to make amends for her past and seek redemption for her actions, swearing never to let greed and prejudice dominate her again. And so, with a little help, Emily carried on with her life, never disrespecting anyone again and doing community work to help the local community for the rest of her life. But even so, the shadow of the Tower of Destiny would never leave her completely.